And we are live.
We're live. It's so exciting. I don't really know how this works.
Well, we are Sunday shifting and
Live.
we are live on YouTube. And hopefully, if people are joining, they can tune into YouTube right now and see us as we are talking.
There we go.
And it looks like, and I don't know if you can see it, Tracy, but we have like on the top left-hand
Oh,
corner
I
of your
see.
screen. Yeah. You can see there's 7 people, 8 people.
Hi, y'all.
And we have some comments.
Um, we're
Hi,
such.
Susie.
Hi, Jenny. Wait, I think it's Janice or Janice.
Janice. I want to call it Janice, but it
I
might be
know. Me
Janice.
too. Me too. Hi,
And
y'all.
MJ and Orange is the New Orange. Love
I know
it.
that's right.
And Christopher.
Um, I'm so excited to be live. Tyan, I also got brand new mics and headphones because we're stepping the podcast game up. So welcome.
You hear crisp, clear sounds of our beautiful voices.
There we go. How was
Woo.
your week,
Welcome
Tanya?
to the quiet storm. My weekend was okay.
Yes.
Oh, this is what happened. I finished all of the old Star Wars. Not Star Wars,
Oh,
Star Trek. Why
sorry,
do I
I
always do
knew.
that? I always do that. I finished all the old episodes. I finished The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. I finished Voyager last week. And so now I'm starting with Picard for our fellow Trekkie fans. And some people said that the first season of Picard was boring. It is not, friends. It starts with action-packed scenes. Now, um, Picard is given a little bit of Xavier X in X-Men because the actor plays both characters and they're both really old right now. And so I'm like having a hard time distinguishing between the two, but it's still great show and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it. Thank you, Michael Anthony Butler, for talking about my hair. I did straighten it
It
today.
does look really good.
Yes, thank you.
Um, I finished Alias finally because it was like a very slow
Lovely.
go. That last season was very rough. I actually threw the show away, but it
Uh-oh.
ended and I was like, okay. So if you want to talk to me about Alias, hit me up. I
Mhm.
left it at the end. That last season was
Okay.
rough until the end.
Okay. All right.
Well, let's hop in because I know that once we get to hot takes, we're gonna look into the comments and see what people are talking about. So you want to hop into
Yeah,
your
so
week?
you guys get to say what your hot takes are, and we will talk about them. So yes, what happened this week on General Hospital?
Well, a whole lot of nothing. But okay, so let me start.
Okay.
Um, Michael lets Nina know what he knows. He uses the information to try and control her access to Willow, which yuck, and we'll get into it. Um, Drew is in solitary for his protection, maybe. Brick, after while flirting with Carly, confirms to Sunny that deep voice, bald head, lollipop licking, incel cousin Mason and Austin work for Cyrus.
Duh. I don't know why they needed
Cyrus
Brick for that.
has, I know, Cyrus has run-ins with Portia and Trina.
Mhm.
Side note, Jeff Kober as Cyrus is so funny because you do sometimes feel that I feel gaslit by him sometimes. I'm like, he sounds earnest, but I know he's trifling. um,
And somehow his short haircut makes him even more menacing than the long.
it does. It does.
Makes him seem way less sincere.
Um,
Kept
TJ
his Jesus hair.
there. TJ realizes that Mason was one of the people who held him hostage. Um,
Mhm.
and Mason is threatening Austin with jail from his hospital bed. And Austin begins to smother him with a pillow while TJ catches a glimpse through the blinds because
That's hella
Austin was
wild.
not smart enough to Close the blinds.
Well, not close it all the way. I mean, he was like apparently those blinds are not fitted very well. And
I
so
loved it. I loved it because the whole time I was just like, kill him.
right. Ah.
Esme tells Alexa she needs a raise because
Mhm.
she's developing feelings for Spencer. So that girl might not have a memory, but she does have audacity.
Well, what's hard not to fall in love with Nicholas Chavez? Because let me stop with my cougarness, but yeah, he's cute.
Please. Because you
um,
know, I feel like such an auntie. I look at him and I'm like, that's a child.
no, that's a man,
um,
girl. That's a man. Um,
yuck.
still,
Um,
he's young. Young. Let me stop. Hi,
um,
everyone.
next, Liesel is back in town and catches up with Willow.
Mhm.
Chase sang a new BLQ song. Tracy says that Sasha must be reinstated as the face of deception. Lois tells BLQ that Tracy may have got deception for her.
Mm.
Lucy finally signs over deception in her 1% of ELQ.
Mhm.
And Sasha decides she might not leave town after all. And that's what I have for the week. How did you feel about it? What was your favorite moment?
Oh, I had a couple of favorite moments. One I will talk about right now. I enjoy Sasha being happy.
Hmm.
Can I just say it's about time? I do not like the fact that she's happy with Cody, but I like that she's happy and she's going to get back to a place of peace. Hopefully, let's cross our fingers on that because you know GH will pull something out of the hat and traumatize that poor girl again. But I'm happy she's not leaving the show.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, so I'm happy that she's coming back and hopefully she will get her strength back. She would if she's not the face of deception, maybe some co-host leader, something like that. Um so I appreciate that. Look at y'all with that Sodi rising. Y'all know I cannot stand Cody. But anyway, I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for
Um,
y'all. Yeah.
I'm barely happy for y'all, but
Right.
I am happy for Sasha. And you know, um, that actress, Sophia can do
Sophia.
anything. She's so good.
Yes. She can do
Um,
happy, y'all. She can do happy and she's good
right.
at happy. Let her be happy.
Has there been a soap character in recent memory who has been through as much as her?
I don't think so.
Especially
Let
for somebody who wasn't a villain. You know what I mean? Like it's not like she's getting some kind of comeuppance.
I mean, she did come on the show doing something bad, but she was manipulated by Valentine and she was
And I hate
sorry.
Nina, so it was fine to me.
So yeah,
I've
I
always
mean,
hated Nina. That's consistent.
I feel like she suffered enough, GH, for the little transgression that she did. So let's let her be happy now. So that I was happy for that. Um, what was some other stuff? I'll have to think about. I did not take any notes for this. We're going
Um,
live and we're going um free and
Noteless.
unpracticed note list.
I my favorite moment actually this week, I really
Mhm.
enjoyed the Robinson women and Cyrus.
Oh yeah.
I specifically really loved Portia. I love a flashback. And so it was so important to remember kind of where they
Jeff
came
Colbert
from.
with the wig.
Um, but you actually finally got some like emotion that made sense out of Portia.
Mhm.
Um, I was actually really glad because I was like, what is she doing not telling Curtis? So I'm glad it was only like a beat that she didn't tell him. I didn't want her treating him like he just couldn't know.
Mhm.
Um, And then Trina, like, just being able to be really fiery with him. She was able to go out, and, like, really, like, tell him about himself. And I think they
Mhm.
sometimes try to, like, water her down because, like, they don't want her to come off as angry Black woman.
Mhm.
But with Cyrus, like, it's totally fine because that's what he deserves. So, I was really happy to see her have her fire back.
Yes. And I'm going to actually talk about Trina in my performances of the week. So,
Go
or
ahead.
Tabiana. Um, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and into performances of the week. I have to give it up to Tabiana. Oh my God, she was on fire. She was emotional. I saw the little one tear on the side when she was confronting um Cyrus. Um, she definitely had every right to anger, every right to not caring whose uncle he is or how, about his fake, I've found Jesus and Jesus loves me attitude and I'm trying to get forgiveness. No, he knew better. He should have been like, if he was really sincere and he was telling the truth to Portia, as soon as he walked in and saw Triva, he would have turned around and left. But no, he felt he needed to come in and stay. He felt he needed to be like, I'm sorry, and I've been released, and you should, I'm going to tell you right now, you should forgive me. And oh, by the way, I'm the one that gave the dove to Spencer, and I protected Spencer in prison, and I'm this and that. And, Trina wasn't hearing it. She didn't give a damn. She's like, I don't care. If you come near me again, I'm going to call the police. I don't forgive you. I don't care whose uncle you are. Get out, all of that. And so I am so proud of Tabiana because that performance was amazing. And I know it must have been probably, I don't know, it probably wasn't as difficult as other performances she's had to give, but I felt like she did a really good job with it. So
Mhm,
um kudos to Tabiana.
mhm.
My second kudos, which you may or may not appreciate, but I have to give it to Cynthia Watros and the one little scene that she had, not little scene, it was, I guess it was a pretty big scene for the week. The scene she had with Michael, Nina, when Michael confronted her and was like, "You're not gonna get off that easy." And she's like, "I'm getting off easy." Oh no. Harley and my two daughters. I mean, she went on a rant and she looked serious. And yes, Cynthia Watros, you were giving some serious Nina is crazy and self-righteous energy in that scene. And I loved it for you. I don't like Nina. And I don't, and I like the fact that she's finally getting caught. She is actually, it was funny is that she was like, you know what? I'm going to tell Michael or I'm going to explain it to Willow and it's going to be okay. And she should have stayed strong in that. She should have been like, Michael, you're not going to tell me who to see my daughter. I'm going to tell her myself. She could have done that. But no, she is still scared and she's still not strong enough to actually own up to what she's done and be confronted with it and move on. If she was that strong, then I would actually have more respect for Nina, but she's not. So I don't. But Cynthia, you're doing a good job.
I would
Yeah.
say so go back to what you said about, Tabiana, what I
Right.
mean, I could only imagine that it is, like, really intimidating to go up against somebody like Jeff Kober.
Right.
And I feel like she really, like, held her own. Like, she was, like,
Mhm.
really fiery. I appreciated it. I really liked the scene. I was confused as to what they were doing with Spencer. I think there was, like, a mix of, like, Imma stand back and, like, let her handle it because she got this. But
Mhm.
it was also, like, I don't know, I wasn't really clear about the direction of it.
Right.
Um, I think some of that is, like, the scabs, and like them not being really good with like some of the dialogue, even her being like, I'll um I'll call the cops. Okay, but he just got out of jail. Like, like, what are you gonna call the cops for? Clearly they're useless. So it
Right.
was just like little pieces, but I feel like with the dialogue they've been given, they did really well. And I'm
Mhm.
hopeful that we're gonna see better dialogue in the future. But I think that the acting was great.
Yeah.
As far as Nina, I really agree with you. Like, part of my problem with Nina is I think I get really triggered around like the tears from her.
Mhm.
Um, and like this like back and forth with her like personality. And so I do feel like people want her to be like a bad bitch, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
like hold her own. The problem and why for me she's unlikable, I can't speak about anybody else, but for me she's unlikable is like, okay, she like told Michael whatever she told him, and then the next beat she was crying. I was like, oh my
Right.
God, like please. Um,
Mhm.
so I do agree that she played that very well. I actually really for I think Chad as Michael like excels when he gets to be a jerk.
Mhm.
And he really gets to be a jerk to Nina. And I think her playing off of his energy um really serves their story, but that their story is really dumb.
Yeah. I would have liked it even more if Michael was less intent on his little revenge scheme and more about really protecting Willow. Because if that was the case when Willow walked in, he would have been like, "Okay, well, you wanna know what happened? I caught her,
Right.
and she did this." And then let
Yeah.
Willow decide how to d deal with it. Like,
Right.
but he's more intent on revenge for mom, which I understand as the son, but same time, I would have liked it better if he had actually told Willow.
Yeah. I
Um,
see Keisha in the chat, and she said, "I feel like Spencer was there for support because if he confronted Cyrus, it would have been like Trina can't stand up for herself." And I agree. I'm glad they
right.
gave Trina and Tabiana specifically that moment because
Yeah.
I do feel like they have been like taking that fire out of her. And so when she confronted Spencer about like, boy, what you gonna do about your future? And then this confrontation of Cyrus, and I'm hoping that that's setting us up for a real confrontation of Esme as
Mhm.
well. Um, like I did feel like I think for me it was like the staging of it. I
Mhm.
understood that they were trying to do. I'm not a person who wanted. I mean, y'all know me. I like strong women and I like men being damsels in distress.
Mhm.
So I don't. Which is why, like if you're a Hunger Games fan, I really love Peeta and Katniss because she was always saving him. I love a male damsel. Um, so I didn't need Spencer to step in. It just felt I don't it was like the staging or the blocking or something just felt weird
Mhm.
to me, but
I
we'll
kinda
let
like
that pass.
yeah, I kinda also like that he was it almost felt like he was about to tackle Cyrus, like he was standing behind him and had his hand out, like, "Dude, don't even try to go next to her."
Mhm,
Um, but I also think this Spencer being there served a purpose of Cyrus trying to manipulate the situation.
mhm.
Um, so, I mean, yeah. So I kinda, like, I agree with y'all. I like that he didn't, try to be the hero, and he was there. But I also like the fact that Trina did not let Cyrus use Spencer to manipulate her. Like, she didn't flinch when he talked about the doves or the fact that, he's Spencer's uncle and all this good stuff. She didn't care. So, I love that for her. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I see I'm also gonna just like look at some of the chat. So if you're listening to us like on like the
yeah,
audio podcast, there's like stuff in the chat. Some of
yeah,
it I see and I have like hot takes about it, and so I'll
right.
say it later. But I actually like there's something about like showing greater respect for Spencer. I sure. um, I I ship personally
Mhm,
ships where the man knows that he's like very lucky to be with the woman.
mhm,
And I think that one of the endearing things about Sprina is that that Spencer knows that like Trina's that girl. And
mhm,
so him rooting for her is actually really important to me for the couple.
mhm,
But I mean, I understand for other people that's not how they ship, but like
mhm.
that's how I ship couples. Like, you know, men have to root for women. It's one of the reasons I'm so mad at Valentine right now.
Mm.
Anyway, let's get into what's working. I see the stuff about Michael, and we're gonna talk about him. But what's working?
What is working? Oh, we already talked about it. Sasha being happy works for me.
Yeah, for sure.
What else did I like? I liked it was interesting. I liked the scene with Maxie and James. Kind of felt like, having their little lunch and then having grandma come back. Loved it. I just like that little scene together because you don't really see a
Mhm,
lot of James or Maxie being a mom and not stressed out and all the other stuff, just having mommy time.
mhm.
I like that scene. I liked the scene. I like Dante's scenes. I like the scene that he had with Cody. I can't stand Cody. I like the scene he had with Cody though.
Yeah.
I, you know what was funny to me was the scene where those dudes are strong. They actually broke up an apple
I
in their
noticed
hands.
that.
And I was like, gonna just like I was like, y'all don't need a knife, no nothing. They just broke up the apple. I was like, wow. But yeah, I was focused on the apple. But I like the scene that they had with the horse. And I like the
I
scene
was
that Dante had with dad,
yeah.
because, Dante was talking about how he came back after, being absent, kidnapped by WSB, and how he was struggling, and that it was Sunny that brought him back. So it's
Mhm.
almost it was a very emotional scene. So good for Dominic. He had those great scenes together
Yeah.
um with Cody and Sunny.
Shout out to Tara who noticed that they recast the horse again.
They recast it. It's a different horse.
The horse. Yeah, I've actually really just been enjoying Dante.
Yes.
He's on screen so much, but he has so little point of view.
Mhm.
Same thing with Sante as a couple, but I
Mhm.
do feel like every time they're on screen, they make the most of it.
Mhm.
And so I did like the scene with Dante and Cody. I like the history of Dante and Sunny. Those actors are clearly so comfortable with each other that
Mhm.
I, it feels like family in those scenes, and
Mhm.
Dante carries a lot of that. So
Mhm.
um I want to see Dante kind of front and center in the scene. I know when you talked about um kid, they got a Puerto Rican horse, they replaced the black. I gotta go, Brit. um it does feel like they're bringing some of the kids back. um
Yeah.
and so, like, if you noticed on Instagram, they're bringing Danny back. Danny is Jason and Sam's son.
Oh, I did
Um,
not know that.
they're bringing an old new Georgie, so they're recasting Georgie with the girl who played her before this
Mhm.
most pres most recent one. We got Charlotte, we got Jake, and I really do like that we're getting this like new generation of legacy kids,
Mhm.
and that it's not like one or two,
Mhm.
because it was really a struggle with um losing like Spencer and Emma, and then having Cam and Joss, because it was like, for me personally, they didn't really have, like, they had friend chemistry, not romantic
Mhm.
chemistry, but they
Mhm.
wanted to tell this story so bad of them being together, they didn't care. Um, oh, Tara's saying they want a Spinelli coded Georgie, not a Maxi coded Georgie, and I think that's true.
Mhm.
Um, and then Aaron is saying the Dante Sasha scenes were really nice too, because Dante
Yeah.
got some nice point of view about his own mental health history and trauma. And I agree, he got that also with Sunny. I just
Yes.
really appreciate it. And I like that. um I think that part of what has been happening with GH for me lately is that they are trying to bring back in some of like the history of these characters. And so Dante's history is really important. And so
Mhm.
we can't just like throw it. People have been hopping from story to story to story and not bringing the history with them. And so they're finally bringing the history back with Dante, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron, for reminding us about the Dante and Sasha scenes. Yeah,
Mhm.
they were also very good. And I like seeing them. I like seeing him with Sasha too. That was just a great,
Yeah.
they have a great chemistry as far, not romantic chemistry, but acting chemistry together. So that was great.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, and another thing that I liked, who I don't normally like at all, Curtis. I like Curtis actually being nice and romantic with his wife. Because he has been hating on her for a minute since the accident. And he was just like, oh, let me take you out to dinner. Oh, you look great. Oh, this. It's like, yes, Curtis, treat Portia as your wife who is awesome to you back. Yes, loved it. So,
Just break up. I hate
right.
it.
Oh!
Um,
No, but
I
I like that he was like giving, I don't like him, but I like that he was treating Portia better. And, Portia isn't feeling, so she was feeling defensive over the lie that she had about Trina and then trying to help him and protect him. And he's just getting hate, hate, hate. And so I like that he's switched back to being a good husband somewhat.
Tara said the Curtis reboot.
Yes.
I will say that what worked for me this weekend or week, I have a
Mhm.
couple things.
Okay.
Carly's hair,
Always.
Jordan's beauty,
Always.
like just absolutely gorgeous. Mason getting smothered definitely worked for me. I was like,
Yeah, because
please
he was working
smother
a
him
nerve this
more.
week. He was working a
Smother
nerve.
more. Um, I appreciate Henry is saying, because I do have this on my hot takes too, but I'll bring it in now. You're saying that you appreciate the nuance and the history, but it is weird when they screw it up. And I agree, because sometimes I don't know if they've done it on purpose or if they're rewriting something. So
Mhm.
like there was this history moment where Nina was like, and Carly kept Nell from me. Well, Carly didn't know about Nell until after Nell was dead. And Jax was a part of like really pushing for her to keep Nell. Sunny and Jason knew about Nell too. And so I specifically remember a scene where Carly was talking to Jason and Sunny and was like, I ain't gonna tell her because she might think, in her grief that I had something to do with her going over the cliff.
Yes.
And why would you want it to know your daughter is Nell? And Sunny and Jason was like, well, do you think that Jax will tell her? So like, that group knew about Nell. I'm not saying that Nina doesn't have a right to be mad. And shout out to the person who was team Nina in the chat, because I don't know if I could listen to a podcast who dragged my fave that way. So we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Um, and so, yeah, like I do think there are like those moments where you're like, are you rewriting something like you've done with Dante, or not Dante, but with Cody and Mac, or is it that you just don't know, or you just haven't paid attention? And those moments are really, really important.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
anyway. Those are the things that worked for me this week. Not a whole lot. Yeah, not a whole lot.
There's, I like little moments too.
Mhm.
Like the apple. That was a little moment that I enjoy.
I love that you keep talking about this apple.
That was
Oh yeah,
amazing to
dessert
me.
before dinner. I
Oh
like
yeah, that
James.
was yeah. James is, and I felt like when you guys were saying that they want more Spinelli, Georgie, I think James is definitely a Maxie. A little Maxie. And I think Maxie is seeing herself in James.
Mhm.
He's definitely the problem child. And the stubborn one. And the
Yeah.
spoiled one.
Carly was like, he was like, I want dinner for, or like dessert first. Carly was like, so you finna
That's what we're gonna do today. All
okay.
right, you ain't trying to eat dinner first. And then while he's like steady trying to convince Maxie, I need 2 costumes, and Maxie was like, you don't need 2 costumes, and then here comes Grandma, yes, you do. And so apparently
Oma.
He's gonna get those 2 costumes. I know it, whether Maxie likes
Yeah.
it or not. So
I also wonder, as we're bringing new young like bringing kids back, what is it
Mhm,
gonna look like um on screen? So like we had this scene with Liz and Drew where
mhm,
Drew is like, "Oh yeah, you know I look at Jake like mine." And I am wondering if we're gonna have that same thing with Danny, because for a
mhm,
long time Drew thought Danny was his too.
mhm,
Or if it's gonna be just like Danny's tight with Dante and that's it. Because if
mhm,
you remember when Drew came back to tell them that Jason was dead,
mhm,
he Sam specifically said to Dante, I wonder if like Scout is going to feel a way, or Danny's gonna feel a way towards Scout because her dad came back while his dad is dead. And
mm,
so I am interested to see what are the dynamics, to the point people are saying in the chat, like what are the dynamics going to be a family? How are they going to talk about people being related to each other? I know that when Spencer came back, we were all like, oh, that's Camp's cousin. And
mhm,
that's not necessarily like a blood relation, but it is like a familiar relationship. So
mhm.
how is it going to look in these people's family trees as they come back, and how are they going to interact? Because everybody can't be related.
Right, and then I think it was interesting when, Charlotte and Jake were talking about their crazy parents, and I wanna hear more of those conversations once the kids, like, "So, how do you feel about your, almost brother dating each other?" or
Hmm.
something, stepbrother and stepmother. It's interesting,
Yeah.
and I like having these kind of, like, realizing that, our family dynamic is a little weird, but, how you doing with that? So,
Yep.
yes.
I specifically, because I think that was a miss, even though I mean, I've said many, many times that I didn't like Cameron and Josh together, but it was
Mhm.
a miss to not bring in their family history. You got
Right.
Liz's son dating Carly's daughter, and we're just not gonna talk about it? What?
Yeah. You often have to wonder if the kids know about, because the kids were really young when Carly and Elizabeth were really going into it.
Sure.
But yeah, but they probably heard stuff. Like, I heard your mom slap my mom more than once over some
Right.
stuff,
Right.
so, that's interesting.
I agree.
Um,
Um, what's
yeah,
not working?
Cody never works.
Sodi rising, apparently, though.
Yeah, I guess. Um, I didn't I felt like Lucy's kinda and again, since I was gone last week, I'm not quite remembering if Lucy's tantrum when sh oh, yeah, you did say it. She signed the paperwork and she just bust in on the conversation between, Lois and, Chase in Brooklyn and was all upset. I just kinda felt like, why is she yelling at like, I mean, she was, yeah, a little upset with Brooklyn over the kibitz, but it really wasn't Brooklyn's fault. It was all Tracy's, and it kind of just like fell a little flat that Tracy wasn't there, and so Lucy came in with all this energy, and it didn't go anywhere. It was just like whatever. So that didn't really work for me. It would have been better if Tracy was there.
Mhm.
And I don't
Yeah.
understand why she is so intense on not having Sasha be the face of deception. I mean, everybody knows that what happened to Sasha wasn't Sasha's fault. I'm pretty sure the same energy that she could have had about having articles about Brooklyn, she could have had about getting Sasha's reputation back and square. So I'm not quite sure why she's so vehement about having Sasha not be the face of deception. So it's not working for me, especially when
Yeah.
she's calling deception her family and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. She's just willing to just cut Sasha off. That doesn't make sense.
It was weird. I mean, so I understand as a business decision why apparently
Hmm.
Blaze is like famous and coming up and all that, why
Yeah.
you might want that to be the face of deception. I think the shady way they were trying to cut out Sasha was weird. I
Right.
think Sasha trying to leave without talking to people, but still maybe thinking she was the face of deception was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It was weird. All of it was really weird to me. I love that what's happening because they must know what's on my list
Fizz.
is
Fizz never working. Agree.
woo!
Shout out to yeah.
Finn
Fizz.
and Liz does not work. I don't know if there's like a pheromone clash or something between these actors, but I am uncomfortable with them. When she like started, when he like licked her finger, I screamed. Ugh, like
You're like,
it was disgusting. They just don't work, and I think the fact that they keep trying to force them to work.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Put Finn with Lexus. That's where his chemistry is that's a better story. Give him something else. Like it's just not it is awkward, it is uncomfortable. It is just even having a flashback, it was disgusting. Them
I
like not sexy washing their hands. What is happening here?
You know what I thought was cute though? The haircut. And I was really hoping he would get a better haircut though. Like I mean the haircut was needed, but I thought he was gonna come out with a whole haircut kind of like Cyrus. Because I really like that actor with shorter hair. He's got this long hair thing. I don't understand. Oh, and then the cute joke like, what are we gonna do? Catch vampires? Wink, wink. Yes, nod to the actor playing a vampire in the past, but still. It was just
I
I like the cute little jokes, but the characters as a couple don't work. And they're trying. They're really trying really hard. And it's sad that they have to try that hard because, it's not gonna work.
and it's not been working for like 2
Right.
years.
And the actor knows it too. Y'all see that Soap Digest interview where he's like, I thought it
Oof.
was over and they're bringing it back. It's like,
We also thought it was over. We were
yeah, we all
hoping.
did. We all thought it was over.
I and it's also hard because we have seen we have seen both of these actors have much better chemistry with
Mhm.
everyone.
Mhm.
Literally everybody that listens to the scene with she has better chemistry with than Finn.
Mhm.
It's I ugh, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Um it's also, there was a lot of conversation that I saw. There was like a couple of articles I saw about Portia and I, y'all know I'm always gonna talk about the legacy of Black characters. And so one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is just like characters who have disappeared and we don't hear from them again. And so
Mhm.
I know that there are like Trina fans or Sprina fans who don't like Portia, but I think that Portia being a viable character is actually really important for Trina. Because what happens when you like have characters who are unattached to family, you then they then become disposable once their coupling is over or once they run out of story for them. So part of the problem with GH is they just uproot whole Black families and Black characters and they just disappear. And I'm worried about what happens. Like we know Nicolas Chavez, when this writer strike is or actor strike is over, he's going to do this Menendez brothers like show. So what does that mean for Trina as a character if most of her story is wrapped up in him and she has family that people don't necessarily want to see? So I was thinking about like Lainey Winters, for example. If you watch way back when, I was thinking about Lainey and being like this doctor. I was thinking about how like Night Shift highlighted like women of color actresses who were friends with Robin, and that's was like how they were like rooted to the show, and then they got their own stories, and how we just don't have that. So like I was disappointed about Trina not being Taggart's because Taggart has history with the show. And I see people in the chat, and I agree. I didn't watch when Gia was on. I started watching summer of 03, so Gia was already gone.
Mhm.
When was the last time they mentioned Gia? I think they had Trina mention her once after Taggart fake died. They wiped out the wards. What happened? Like, I'm sorry, let me go back to Gia. Like, it actually makes a lot of sense, especially because they like were basically painting Portia into this corner being against Serena.
Mhm.
No, I wasn't mad at her. I think that like it makes sense for parents to like question relationships. I don't necessarily think that she needed to go about it the way she did, but for her to like question, you know, he got these dangerous uncles and he's lied to you and all of that, like that's actually just part of their story. Where was Taggart to take on some of that? Because it fell just to Portia and nobody else had a problem with them being together except for Portia, it ended up making her character look naggy. But Taggart should have had a problem with that relationship too. And maybe Gia could come back and like defend him because he's different than Nicholas or whatever it is. But we haven't gotten them. Go ahead.
I'm super disappointed about Taggart, especially given the performance that Real Andrews gave when he found out about Trina. It shows that he has acting chops. He's amazing. And they're letting this really valuable actor go for what? And he has like way too many storyline potential to let that go. There's other people that could be gone. Does not need to be there.
For real.
Cody could be gone. And yeah, so and like all the other people in the chat, folks were saying Valerie, Keisha Ward, all these people should be back. Maya, and they're not. Gia as well. I actually enjoyed Gia when she was on. So yeah, that's definitely not working. GH, y'all need to get your act together.
And that's the kind of thing that makes me nervous for Trina. Right? Like, because if Gia was like attached to Nicholas and was in this relationship and like had a rivalry with Liz, and she was at one point like the face of Deception too, and then they just disappeared her, never to be heard from. What's to say that the same thing couldn't happen to Trina, and then we have to start from scratch all over again? So like one of the reasons that I know there's like, I have never felt like it was necessary to have like a rivalry between Jocelyn and Trina, but part of the reason that Jocelyn, like Carly and Jasper Jackson's daughter is always going to have story. Regardless whether people like it or not, like this is a legacy kid, she's always going to have story. And I've always fought for the fact that Trina is a legacy kid. But you need family present, and you need them to be people who are in good story and people that folks want to see and people with good motivation in order for that to be shown. Instead of having to scrap and start from scratch every single time you need a new Black character. There's no legacy of Black characters. I don't watch YNR. I know you do. The Winters family is a legacy. I know that.
Right. And they're always going to have a story.
And they're always going to have a story. When you think about All My Children, Angie and Jesse was like a Black super couple. They're like, they ended up having a kid. He's a legacy. He had story until he decided to leave. So like, what is the history and how are we going to have story for them if like you're making Curtis and Portia unlikable? So
yeah,
and I agree. I am nervous what happens next.
What happened to Finance Zeke? Where did he go? Just because Drew gone to jail, so many people on that canvas that need lawyers right now. All of them.
And Zeke isn't even trying to get him out.
Right.
How do like your client go to jail for something that felt so weird
Yeah, and now
Like,
it's up
and
to
not just
Carly.
jail,
Yeah.
right?
Well, now it's up to Carly and Alexis, and we have to listen
And
to
Sonny.
Alexis whine about not being a lawyer anymore. I don't need that. I don't need to see Alexis on the screen. I really don't. I
Same.
don't like NLG at all. Anyway,
Anyway,
but
I say
just
all
for
that
the
to say that it's
yeah,
just frustrating to me, the way story is being rolled out. Um,
there was something else that wasn't working for me, and I forgot. Maybe because I already talked about it with Real Andrews. Maybe
yeah,
I'll
and
remember later.
Rael just has already said
Mhm.
that he would be willing to come back. He said he's ready anytime.
Mhm.
Um, Also not working for me. Let's get into it. Um, the Michael Nina reveal.
Uh,
No, stop with these lackluster reveals. Like part of when things come up after they've been going for a long time, you want the boom.
right?
I don't want like slow dripping of this reveal. Let's get it done.
Mhm.
Let's have the fallout. This fallout of Michael being like now controlling husband is disgusting. And I've talked about this before where I feel like Willow being isolated just with Michael's family is not a good look. So now she's getting Nina as like, why would Michael allow her, not allow, but like why would Michael like basically be okay with him getting close to Nina without knowing the full truth? To
Mhm.
your point, he should have told her and then let her make her decision.
Mhm.
I was like, Michael, why are you constantly disappointing me? This is new Michael. Because redhead stepchild Michael would have already paid Nina off to leave town.
Yeah,
It,
I mean, if he was gonna be that controlling, he would have gotten rid of her altogether. Now, I think he should tell everybody and just stand back because right now he's been by Nina, he's been painted as the bad guy, even though not necessarily fairly. Now he could really be like, "You think I'm the bad guy? Wait till Carly finds out. Wait till Sunny finds out. Wait till Willow finds out. They're gonna be justified in being mad at you." Now he's taken on that bad guy persona, and now they're gonna be mad at him.
yeah.
And that's like counterintuitive. So I liked Michael last week. Now I didn't like him this week.
I also just felt like the line was gross.
Right.
This like I'm gonna control whether you see her. It's one thing to control, her access to your grandchildren.
Mhm.
It's quite another to try to control her access to this grown woman.
Right.
It was like very disgusting. And to me, it feels like two things are trying to happen, right?
Mhm.
One, I think that they're trying to create some like tension between Michael and Willow.
Mm,
Because right now they're
maybe.
just kind of vanilla couple with like kids, right? Like there's
Right.
not really any drama between them. And if I'm Willow, when this comes out, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Right.
The the
Yeah.
other thing I think that's happening is they're trying to do some course correction with Nina. So I can't speak to how other people feel about Nina. I can only speak to how I feel about her. And I think that there what is really unfortunate for that character is that so many what I have seen about feedback from people not liking her is not just what she has done, but it's how Sunny is with her. So there
Mhm.
are a lot of people who are fans of Sunny. What I've like observed is that there are people who are fans of Sunny who feel like the relationship with Nina makes him look weak. And that this is like this would never be him. This doesn't make any sense. And so it's not just Nina's actions that people are mad about. It is Sonny's actions when it comes to Nina. And so they're trying to do some course correction because this is wrong of Michael. This is silly. So when this comes out, like it's gonna be not the blow up is not gonna just be Nina. The blow up will also be Michael. And so Willow this week just being like, here's like whatever. Willow, get out of here.
Well, it's also still unexplainable to me is this whole dream series she's having with Harmony. Like,
Yeah.
still. And then she told Nina about it. Like, so she's really trying to start trusting Nina. And she's gonna feel like an idiot, especially now that Michael knows and is not telling her.
I mean, is Harmony trying to warn her against Michael for controlling her life?
Right. What is Harmony doing? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's just unexplainable. Harmony doesn't need to be in the mix. Though I like for the actress to have some job, have a little bit of change. Yes, good for you. But I would have looked at that script and be like, I don't know, y'all. But whatever.
I agree about some things I'm seeing in the chat. So one,
Yes.
somebody was saying they're trying to justify Nina's dislike of Michael. I think that's true because if you remember, Nina would always be like, Michael's controlling her, and everybody would be like, no, he's not.
Right.
It was
And
always like a very weird thing. And so I agree that I think that they're trying to like double back and make her right. And I also agree with Nikisha, who's saying that Mo wants to keep Sonny with Nina. And so they have to figure out a way to do that. He has like publicly said that he didn't want Carson. Like he's doing like a live or something.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to be yelled at again or something. I was like, Carly don't yell at you.
Whatever. But he was doing like a live or something on Instagram and somebody asked him about it. And he was just like, why would Sonny be back with Carly? And it's like, because that's one of your most popular pairings, and Nina is not. So I yeah. It's
because Brick wants you to get back with Carly and you trust Brick. Don't you? Don't you trust Brick?
That was Stephen A. Smith. That wasn't even Brick. I was like, what are you wearing? Is that a chain?
He's wearing that medium shirt saying, look, everybody, I'm working out and I look good and y'all need to see it. So, but yeah, Brick and Steven are in love with Carly and Laura.
Yeah.
Which is all right. What else was I working? Something else. Oh, someone said that the scene with Selena Wu and Sonny were great. Yes. Selena Wu, can I get your wardrobe? Because you always look great. That suit was awesome. And even in the fact that Selena knew that she was caught messing with Gladys, she still seemed like unperturbed by it all. She's like, yeah, I should have let you know. My bad. But it wasn't like she wasn't feeling bad about it at all. She's like, yes. She didn't care. She's like, sure.
I was like, Sonny, nobody cares. Stop
right.
it.
You are not the thing that you think you are.
Brooklyn in the chat said the blowout would be Sonny finding out Michael hired Dex to send Sonny to prison. And I do wonder if that is going to happen at the same time that Nina gets exposed. So it's like he's double mad at Michael because Michael hired Dex and is holding back this like secret about Nina.
Do you think Nina's going to find out about Dex?
I don't know.
Because I don't see how at this point Sonny's going to find out about Dex unless somebody who hates Michael tells him.
I'm trying to understand how Michael outsmarted Brick.
Right?
For Dex. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Brick ain't all that great, though.
I
don't know why they keep flying him in.
they're just like
'Cause-
Stephen A. Smith is back. We also
Right.
do have to, I think, see um how I don't see Evan going anywhere, who
Right.
plays Dex. So we have to figure out or see how he's going to be saved in this situation. I'm a fan of the Dex is Dante's son theory.
Yeah.
Uh
So
but
that would be the only way. Like because the only way Sonny forgives a big betrayal is if he finds out that that person that betrayed him is his family.
right.
So if Dex is outed as Michael's, little secret, the only way Sonny will forgive that betrayal would be if he ends up being Dante's son
Mhm.
and then effectively grandson. Do y'all notice that Evan and Dex have been upgraded to suits now? He's
Yeah.
not a t-shirt dude anymore. That is great.
He said, "I'm not baby Jason. I
Right.
am."
Yeah, distinguish yourself from Jason. Please do.
The other thing that's not working for me is whatever they're trying to do with this nepo baby situation with Mo's kid. Um,
Nepo baby?
Adam is his name on the show, I
Oh,
think.
that's right. That was it. That was what wasn't working for me. And I think they're trying to make him be a stalker.
Is that what it is? Ugh.
Yeah, because he's like, I can stay in your room and wait for a book. No one asked you to do that. Why you need to stay in her room? So you can snoop around and smell her underwear? That's probably why you want to do
Oh my
that.
god.
That's why he's gonna be a stalker. He's a stalker.
Well,
He's
the
a
interesting
piece of
thing about him is that they introduced him as a creep. That,
yeah.
like, he was, like, coming at Joss about her like, about the revenge porn. So
Mhm.
the fact that they would, like, make them, like, steady buddies and friends after that, this
Right.
is the problem with GH. They go too far, and
Yeah.
then they try to pull it back, and it's like, "No, you actually don't get to do that." And then they also had a point where he, like, told Joss he liked Trina. So is he a stalker of Joss, or is he gonna be a stalker of Trina? I mean, it's obviously they're setting it up to look like some kind of thing with Joss, but this is ugh. Oh, somebody said that Sonny started off as a druggy creep too. True, they do like to switch it up.
Oh, I wasn't there for early Sunny. Early Sunny. I was not there for that. But yeah, I'm not feeling Adam as a character.
They also gave him, like, so much point of view, and I think it was Aaron who pointed out, like, "Damn, this kid is getting more point of view than we've gotten from Sam."
Oop.
'Cause, like, I love me some Car-Sam friendship, but it's
Yes.
always about Carly, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Well, yeah, because what would Sam talk about? They don't give her any story."
Aw. She can talk about Dante.
Which I'm always
Fine
happy about.
Dante. Fine ass Dante.
Anya. Um,
Yeah.
do you have any hot takes? And we'll also obviously still be taken from the chat. I have some.
Yeah, that apple was my hot take, so
Uh,
I'll react to all y'all's.
I have a couple. So this is another thing that I didn't know if it was like rewriting history or a mistake. But when they were like that Lucy and Maxie took advantage of BLQ at deception. I was like, that's not true.
Oh, when Tracy and well, I don't know if it was Tracy or Lois. Tracy saying that they never I guess was implying that they never gave Brooklyn a real job per se or a real
Yeah.
task. Like she was the assistant or something like that as the actual job.
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't
Right.
she even she started that job because of Wheezy so that the baby could be near Maxie?
Yeah. But they never gave her like a real position. Like she
Did she
wasn't
ever
like
ask for one?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
so.
I just thought it
She
was
never
like,
really wanted it. Right. So it just seemed weird that Tracy would be like, she deserved a better, job at deception. She never really wanted to be a part of deception.
right. Yeah. Um I was like also looking I to your Selena Wu point, I was like, she actually doesn't need to make amends. Like you really ran up on her, like, why you ain't tell me about my cousin?
Right.
What do you mean? Like,
That's some sort
why
of
you not watching your cousin?
right. Why weren't you watching your own cousin?
Gladys ain't never been trustworthy. That's on you.
That part.
Um, I love Martin basically being like, bitches be crazy when he was talking about Nina. Like that was his like excuse to Michael as to why Mike like it was okay for him to like break confidentiality. I don't even like Nina, but I'm like, you need to sue this man. Because Martin could have said no. He could have said no, he was not going to call the SEC. So him giving Nina up like that was like very trash, actually.
Martin is actually still trash, even though we love Michael E. Knight. But he did give Lucy that idea. And he was taking alimony from his ex-wife and chose not to marry Lucy so he can keep having alimony. And he had 7 different wives anyway. And he's just like, he's not actually a great person. We just like Michael E. Knight.
Right. It was just weird. He was naming out. He was like, "What you want her to steal your baby? Like he stole Avery out of Ava's womb? Like what is going on?" And also, I kind of want Nina to steal them grandkids.
Kidnap the grandkids. Yes. Yeah.
I want Carly to get a liquor license at Kelly's because Lucy needs her wine.
She's like,
Okay.
you know they don't serve wine here. Why would you bring me here? Yeah.
Not tired of being like, but none of that is illegal, like insider trading. I just, let me go on record again to defend my girl. I know everybody's not a Carly fan. I do not care about the insider trading. It was
Nobody
it was
does.
so wild because they were talking about how Nina was just doing her civic duty. She was doing her civic duty to report insider trading while she's laid up with a mobster. Are we for real? That's my thing. Let's just say she was petty and keep it moving. But this idea that she was doing something right? Come on.
Yes.
Or this idea that like Carly and Drew were trying to escape any kind of like accountability. Drew said, "Send me to, camp prison." And the problem is that this judge who's getting paid off like Clarence Thomas sent him to,
Hold on a second. Lakeisha Moore said something about Lucy. They finally showed Lucy's gummies and they're just regular non-THC gummies. I still don't believe it, Lakeisha.
failure.
I think those are edibles and they need to quit playing. Edibles are legal in New York. They're legal in California. Let's just keep it real. Lucy is a gummy person and so is Scott. Scott ain't showing up to no house with some gummies that are just sugar gummies. He can showing up with some real stuff. Quit
When
playing
I'm
with your
home
age.
for the holidays, because I can't be sober around my family like that, I do always put my like weed gummies in a gummy tin, like in a fake
Yeah, and that's what
non-weed gummy tin, so nobody asks me no questions.
right. So
So
that's
maybe
what
that's what
Lucy's
Lucy's doing.
doing. That's what she's doing. There's no maybe. Those are weed
Um,
gummies. Those are edibles. Okay.
Lucy is definitely high, and I see
All the
somebody
time.
saying Nina wasn't wrong. I'm not even saying like. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that Nina did anything illegal. I'm saying that Nina is now part of the mob family. And she is so impulsive that she turned Carly in with no thought of how that would impact her family. Because what would Nina have done if Carly would have turned Sonny into the feds?
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. And being part of the mob family, the worst thing you can do, worse than cheating on somebody, worse than murdering a family member is turning somebody into the cops. That is the worst ever. That is the ultimate betrayal to Sonny. He don't care about nothing else. He will forgive
Right.
you eventually. But if you turn him into the cops, that's that's a no-no. So Nina wasn't wrong, but Nina ain't right.
Her whole plan hinged on Carly being like loyal.
Mhm.
Like her whole thing would have blown up.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, Nikisha. Like Carly has done way more, and I think that like there is like this thing that's like about like believing people are right or wrong based on whether or not you like them. Whatever. I think Carly was very stupid for this like insider trading thing. I think the story was really bad. Um, I think, yeah, I think that it was like very late. Like the writing was really lazy, and I wasn't even necessarily mad at Nina for turning her in because it's what so folks do. I think that it's just like everything. It is the comeuppance you get that's not about like the law because I'm not carceral anyway, but like it's the comeuppance you get for like turning in people who are adjacent to your family. And so, people can think what they want to about Nina. People can like her. That's not me. I don't like her. But I think this whole idea of like whether it was legal or not is just like
Mm.
who
You know
cares?
what, Indira Jones? I'm team Nina's outfits 100. She looked great in that scene. That dress, I want it.
Cynthia always looks
Cynthia always looks great.
yeah. Like I've I've never I am never a person who would come for like an actress's like looks. That's part of the reason I don't be messing around online. I think that that's foul. And like I think that you can dislike a character and like an actress just fine.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. Any
where is
more?
Phyllis?
Oh my god. Phyllis is
Sonny and
gone.
Nina get married.
She ain't invited to a wedding.
She ain't invited to the wedding.
Right.
Y'all done dragged this black lady out here, had her husband return from the dead as an apparition who tells you that it's okay to cheat, and she can't even get no
Invitation to the wedding.
like she can't even get no invite. Okay.
Oh, where
Also,
it no, there's a serious this is a serious question. I think Christina said something about where Phyllis is, but I don't remember what it was. Like she's at another city at another business with family.
Jasmine said she locked behind the bar. Um,
She's in the attic. She's in the attic where everybody
you're not at the
is.
Tano because Nina got that burnt down. No, I agree. I agree with Nikisha, like who says Nikisha is me. I am Nikisha, who is saying that if they let Nina be a villain and own it, I would
Right.
like her. I am a
Yeah.
child of Sammy Brady from Days. I love a good villain. I was just watching a video today of Vivian Alamain, if you watch Days, reading the city down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they allowed Michelle Stafford. I didn't like her either, or her Nina either, but I think they allowed her to play the lines between villain, like because like she would snap on somebody and then she wouldn't go into a corner and cry. And I think for me personally, for Tracy, that is very triggering to me of like having someone be like the baddest in your face, like trying to talk crazy to you, trying to talk down to you, and then all of a sudden, like back and start crying.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I don't like. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that I can like Carly, because she's just like, yeah, I did that shit. I did it. And so that's like, I think for me, the problem with Nina. I think
Mm-hmm.
Nina could be a better character if the things that people want her to do, she would do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But she's not my cup of tea. I drink coffee, and that's okay.
She's
Um,
not my coffee and I drink tea.
Um, I love that Fizzle was in Peter's cabin. So apparently Vermont is also in, where were they
Peter's
shooting?
cabin.
The cabin where he took Maxie.
Interesting.
I said, oh, we repurposed the sets out here.
Okay.
And then the woods where they were like tapping trees, it looked like it was Pawtuck, where Maxie had her baby.
None of those trees look like it could carry very much sap, but
Not at all.
Liz had a whole bucket.
I loved Liz standing behind Finn with the hammer, looking like she was about to hit him and make a run for it. Um,
Ah.
I laughed about the fact that there is nobody ever in Sunny's restaurant.
Speaking, someone, well, yeah, that was funny. So Keisha said something about Ava. That was another thing. That was actually another scene that was a favorite of mine. How Ava and Trina were having coffee or wherever in that new place, and Ava basically told Trina that she doesn't have a lot of friends and she just feels really blessed to have Trina in her life.
Oh,
I love that. It made me
I
cry.
legitimately teared up. I
I
teared up.
did, because that is so true. And Ava's not vulnerable like that to anybody, not even Nina. And
Yeah.
so that is definitely still working for me, that relationship between Ava and Trina. She's like, her baby Avery. Avery's a baby. Avery's a child. But she has a true, really great relationship with Trina, and she appreciates it and she feels blessed by it. And I felt blessed by it. I loved it. So, yeah.
I really enjoyed that scene. And I think, to somebody's point, they were talking about like Ava getting made weaker. I really hope
Yes.
that she is able to flip that on
Mhm.
Cyrus and Austin. And I don't know if Mason's going to survive. I hope that that's when we see her like come back up. But I do feel like these writers just don't know how to write women.
Mhm.
And I am tired of that. But I did really, really love the like beauty and the vulnerability. I think both of those actresses, I think Tabiana really shines when she's
Mhm.
with Mora.
Mhm.
And I really love their scenes together. I do. I really
Yeah.
love their scenes together.
That was
And then
definitely a fave.
same thing, Nikisha. I'm like, this is another one of the things, going back to the point of like, is this just a rewritten, or do y'all not, or just, whatever, this idea that Nicholas could come back and nothing would be wrong? Um, what are we saying? Because like
I
Laura is, yeah, go ahead.
I ran across some random article with Marcus Coloma talking about him coming back. I was like, "What the hell? Oh, hell no.
No,
Hell no. Sorry.
no, Marcellus, we're done
No
here.
Marcellus. There's no coming back. I don't care if you had COVID." He said something about the reason why he left was because he had COVID and he get over COVID. No, you left because you did not belong there. And we don't want you back. We really don't.
Um,
Not here
n-
at GH Sunday Shift.
no, Jason Ship does not want him back. But I thought it was just like a very weird, like when Laura and Ava were talking, Laura and Alexis were talking, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he could kind of come back because Esme doesn't remember, and like Liz is the only." I was like, "So just nothing, huh?" Okay, I
No,
didn't
he
like
can't come
that.
back.
I'm not interested. Um, yeah, I'm not interested in that. It's a very weird. Ugh. And Tara said in the thing that nobody's in Sunny's restaurant because it's a mob front. It just made me laugh that nobody's ever there except for Dex making chicken picada that one time.
Yeah. What happened to Dex being a cook? Oh.
Uh, um, and that Soap Dirt said that Adam Huss has a fan event with Avery. Yeah, he does have a fan event with Avery Pohl
Okay.
in December. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
yep. So we'll see. I like Adam better. At least he, I don't know, looked
Yeah.
like he tried.
Yeah. If it can't be Tyler Christopher, then I'll be okay with Adam. Because Adam does be acting his ass off. So
He did.
you go, Adam.
Anna did have dinner with Sunny there. I'm so mad at Valentine, y'all. Part of the reason I'm so mad is that Anna is like scared for her life,
Mm-hmm.
and he is not telling her that she does not need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, it's like Valentine and Michael Corinthos are like two sides of the same coin, and I never thought I would say that. It's so manipulative. It's so gross. I'm so annoyed by it. Um, I wonder if we're gonna see. Not that I want this, but I wonder if we're gonna see like a Valentine or Valentine Nina kind of thing, and
I
then a
think
Sunny,
you were speculating about that early when it was Nina that knew about Charlotte.
and then a
And
Sunny Anna kind of thing, which I hate.
no, no. I'd rather Anna be single for the rest of her life than be with Sunny.
I know, same.
Right?
Uh,
That does not need to happen.
so somebody's asking, Nikisha's asking, is Charlotte programmed or just a crazy Cassadine or both? I think both, because we also remember that Charlotte put a snake in Ava's purse
Yeah.
back in the day.
And she got away with it.
Where are the consequences for Charlotte?
None.
So I do think that both of those things are true.
Charlotte's got some Helena in her, and I'm glad to see it.
I mean, look at that lineage. Helena,
Right?
Victor,
Yeah.
Laura be out here murdering.
Right. She's clearly being manipulated by Victor, but she got it in her, and Victor chose the right person to carry
Yeah.
on the family legacy.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything else in the chat before we get to preview for next week?
Yeah. Hot takes in the chat, y'all. Share.
The other thing,
Shout out to the fact that there's like almost 60 people here watching with
thank
us.
y'all. That
Y'all are
makes me
awesome.
feel so happy.
Yay.
So Soap Opera Digest, I don't know if they're finishing all of it, but I know that they're gonna go down to only 4 print issues a year. So end of an era for that. I don't know. I mean, we get the virtual or the digital copy, but I'm not sure. I really loved, there was a little spotlight in it with Tabiana talking about like the first Sabrina love scene, and she was talking about how both Eden and Avery like supported her through it, and I was just so touched by like I was so touched by the camaraderie that the three of them share. And it also made me mad that like they didn't just make Esme like a twin or something, because I do like Avery.
Yeah.
But she was saying that Eden was like there for a little bit of the beginning of it and gave her some advice and told her she looked pretty, which, you know, I really love that, because you need to feel pretty when you're doing something like this. And so like hearing that from your girlfriend is like really special. And that Avery gave her this like really good advice, like to remember that this is Trina, not her, and that to like give herself like the space to decompress afterwards, and she took it. And so I just wanted to like highlight that and highlight even when everything on the show isn't going the best, or there's like patriarchy and whatever, like these young women are really providing an example for how to support each other. Through everything. And so I just really loved that story.
Shout out to Keisha S asking, do we think Blaze might be Lila Ray Alcazar? That would be awesome. I want Alcazar to come back too. I think Alcazar was a great rival for Sunny.
I have not heard that. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I would love that.
for Christina and Alcazar's spawn, mixing it up together.
I like that. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that. I don't know. I hope she don't bring her mama back because you know I ain't really like Sky. But
Right.
I do hope she comes back.
I like Sky. I was a Sky fan. But
Her scamming the whole like eastern seaboard of rich families.
yeah, up and down from Pine Valley. Was she on Landview? Was she on one line?
Yeah, she was on
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cyrus offered Trina a favor if she ever needed it. I wonder what she's gonna ask for. Maybe get rid of Esme.
Maybe.
Charlotte also mutilated the picture of Sasha and blamed Nina.
When?
I forgot about that.
She mutilated pictures of Sasha. When did that happen?
Texas threw her uncle off a balcony and Sunny colonized her family. We will drop the link for our glasses. I get them from this place called Zelo.
Yeah.
Zelool.
Zellol.
Yeah, but I'll drop the link.
Yeah, they having sales. Get rid of the spring onto the winter.
There you go.
Flash sale.
Are you ready for the previews for next week?
Sure. Yes. Shout out to Nikisha bringing all of the insights, liking everything that I like. Yes.
I know. She is me. I am her.
Right.
Okay. Monday. Austin drowns his sorrows. Sunny
Can I say
has a
something?
warm reunion. Huh?
Can I say something? I don't like Austin being a murderer. There, that's it.
I'm okay with it. I hated Deep Voice
I just don't like Austin as a character. Not Trevor. What's his name?
Roger.
Roger. Get those two mixed up. But basically deserves better. Anywho, go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, we did need what's his name to be murdered though, because he was getting on my nerves. Lollipop Guild. He needs to go. And I know, that's another thing. He kind of switched it up. Like, he's threatening Austin to go, I'm gonna turn you in to the cops and all this other stuff. What happened to your fear of Cyrus? Cyrus scared the Jesus out of you, and yet now you're gonna flip on and disappoint Cyrus again. I wish
you know
Cyrus
how GH loves for villains to go out just super evil. You're like, wait, when did this happen?
Right. Anywho, sorry.
Okay. Sunny has a warm reunion. I think that's Lois.
Okay.
Laura and Ava catch up. Liz and Finn get closer.
Jesus.
Ugh, God.
Fast forward. Sorry, Laura Wright.
Sorry, Laura Wright. Olivia defends Eddie. I'm tired of that bum. Get your memories back. I've had enough.
It's gonna happen soon.
Tuesday, Halloween. I'm gonna be Baby Yoda, by the way. Anna makes a move. Laura seeks Sunny's help. Cyrus pays an unwanted visit. I feel like he's always unwanted, but okay. Trina has a nightmare.
Cyrus is gonna dress up like Jesus because he got the wig already.
I would love it. Valentine and Charlotte strike a deal. Is Valentine the worst parent in Port Charles right now?
I think so.
Because he literally was like, you terrorized my girlfriend, here's a house.
Right. I'm gonna give you all my attention now. You're my number one. That's why she's a little Helena. He's making up because his mama didn't treat him well, and so he's gonna raise another mama. Helena.
Here we go. Wednesday. Halloween kicks off in Port Charles. Ava gets an offer. Robert and Scott clash. Surprise, surprise. Carly issues a warning. Lois encourages Eddie. Thursday, Felicia delivers a gift to Anna. Trina commends Spencer. Charlotte is on a mission. Sunny reassures Michael. Maxie delivers big news. Friday, Willow opens up to Michael. Laura and Kevin debrief. Alexis senses a shift between Christina and Molly. Maybe we will get new Molly.
Molly.
Sam checks on Carly. You know I love me some Car Sam. Let's give Sam some point of view. And Valentine is alarmed. What else could Valentine be alarmed about? Is Charlotte going to set another fire?
She's going to do something else because they hinted about it in SOD.
What more is there?
Hey, don't estimate little Helena.
I do not mix Trixie Christmas. I really just feel like they should unalive Molly. Anyway,
you said unalive Molly.
That's my last hot take.
Oh, I had a one hot take, not a hot
Please.
take. I appreciate that we're giving Stella a permanent job on GH, and I don't know why. I guess Felicia and Stella together, they're cute, but I don't know. I didn't like the story of Felicia messing up somebody's insurance and Stella. First, the hospital not doing anything and making Felicia feel like she had to pay for it, and then Stella fixing it just willy-nilly because the hospital was going to do a study just like that. I felt like it just didn't seem right. Like, I'm pretty sure the hospital would have been like, yo, this was a mistake, accept this insurance. And the insurance be like, okay, but making Felicia feel like she got to come out of the pocket for a patient. Now, I like the idea of them talking about the fact that this insurance scam of America is something that needs to be of concern, but really, Stella is not that talented to think of a way to just wipe away this problem.
Hashtag Medicare for all. But
right.
anyway.
But anyway, it just felt like they could have done something a little bit better. I don't know. But shout out to Stella.
I feel like Nikisha is in my head. She said Molly being gone would be a good story. Actually, TJ could raise that baby. Sister Surrogate is already pregnant. Do it. R.I.P. Molly. Bye, girl. We've had enough. We'll see you later.
Right. Yeah. Go be somewhere else.
Give TJ a better pairing. Maybe he could run off with Willow. TJ. Look on your face. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. It really does warm our heart. We do this because we love talking about GH every week, and we love hearing from y'all. So we will try to do more lives, but we really appreciate you. So we are 102, maybe 103 shows down, and who knows how many more to go. But we definitely appreciate y'all. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. And have a great weekend. And shout out to my friend that watches Picard. Watch it with me. Enjoy. And have a great day. Tara, you're funny. Orange is the new orange. Yay. And yay, everybody. I can't name you all because there's about 60 of y'all. Okay, have a great day.